Mystic, she wrote, is the intro I was promised by these two would be good as we descend into insanity, talking about the cards in the Drowned City Arkham expansion. I'm Brandon.
I'm Steven.
I'm Kyle.
And this is Optimal Play, our 5th video in one sitting of 6, talking about the highlights of the Drowned City Investigator expansion.
2 more and I can go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, you're really
He's
trapped in
chained.
here too. Yeah, we have not let him up. And he's drank a lot of beer.
I know.
So yeah, this is the final class for us to discuss from Drowned City. Then all that will be left is all the
the black and gray
stuff.
cards.
Yeah, there's a whole new card frame for them.
Agatha for some reason.
and also Agatha is there. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Kyle, you have brought the Mystic Investigator and 5 cards of your choosing to talk about from the Mystic class.
I sure
What
have.
are they?
Well,
What is the
I'll start
investigator?
off with
Yeah.
Gloria Goldberg, my fellow Jewish woman, probably.
Never heard of her.
I've read about her.
Yeah, you read a novella maybe?
Yeah, something like that. A long time ago. I don't know how much I could recite. But I'll tell you about Gloria in the way that as a young girl, Gloria was haunted by terrible visions. After years of visiting doctors, she learned to exorcise these visions. Like, exercise them, not like exercise them.
Okay.
Anyway, by writing stories. Her weird and disturbing fiction somehow spoke to the public and made her a best-selling writer. But while visiting Arkham, she had the most powerful vision she's ever experienced. The sky tore open, a monstrous form pouring out of the very air itself. Yeah, that is what it says.
Okay.
Pouring out of the very air itself. Mm-hmm. Gloria knew somehow that this vision was real, and that it would come to pass unless she did something about it.
Hey, I gotta give her credit. She's the first investigator for this box to not follow the format of introduce some sort of loved one and then immediately put them in harm's way. Yeah, whether they die or get rescued. Introduce someone by name and then immediately throw them to the monsters.
So true. Alright, so Gloria Goldberg, the writer, has 5 willpower, 4 intellect. It's probably going to be better from there, right? 2 combat and 1 agility. Okay. Came back down to earth. But man, 5 will and 4 intellect. Really, really strong.
Yeah, have we ever had a will plus intellect equals 9 investigator? I feel like no.
I think no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. She's clairvoyant traded. And you choose the investigator order during the mythos phase. Is just her passive ability.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Yep.
As a reaction, when you look at 1 or more cards from the encounter deck, look at 1 additional card and choose 1 non-elite card amongst them. Either discard it, put it on top of the encounter deck, or place it face down beneath Gloria. Max 3 cards tucked beneath her. Elder Sign effect is a +1. Look at the top card of the encounter deck. 5 health, 9 sanity. And let's see what she can build with.
Pretty sane.
Pretty sane. Considering she's getting monstrous visions all the time.
Right.
She's very sane. Secondary class choice. So at deck creation, her 30-card deck size is comprised of a secondary class of either Guardian, Seeker, or Rogue. She also gets Mystic cards 0 to 5, neutral cards 0 to 5, and up to 10, 0, or 1 level events or skills from the chosen secondary class.
So it's like the Tony building.
Exactly.
Deck building. So I never played her in her promo card from the books form.
I did.
Her passive choosing the order stuff seems powerful. But it's not looking at them, right? It's just choosing the order?
Just choosing the order,
Okay.
but often she has cards that's going to be looking at, 3 to 6 cards in the, so depending on player count, you can get it.
Stack the top of the deck and then choose and
Exactly.
So she's almost as good at first watch as Guardians.
Yep. Exactly. And this is a little bit of my playing her in real life with the novella version, which I think was, probably just as good, if not better, than this version. She kind of breaks the game in an unfun way. She is so powerful that I don't really want to play her because I think she is just too good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've never, and this is part of the reason that Mystic is not one of my top classes is I don't like to approach the challenges in this game by just canceling them. And
Fair.
what she does is, well, as we look at her signature card, she does some of that, but also just choosing who draws what is like a cancel adjacent way of like mitigating the.
It's an unreal
encounter deck.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing
First
what's
watch
coming.
is very good, but it's like the fact that you have to pick what are the two most important turns of the game to do that,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
As opposed to
Right.
like, oh, I can
Kind
just
of
do that every
constantly
turn.
doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, unbelievably powerful investigator. So let's talk about her 3 signatures on either side of the good and bads. So her psychic sensitivity, which is her signature event, is a 0 cost, 2 will icons, and 1 wild icon. So, for Mystics, that's a 3 boost to a lot of things. But the text is even better because Gloria deck only, it's an augury and insight. Fast, when an investigator at any location draws an encounter card. If there's a copy of that encounter card beneath Gloria, cancel all the effects and discard both copies of it, then draw a card.
That's nuts. Especially that it's cancel all the effects.
All the effects.
Usually
Surge.
it's cancel revelation effects. So it means you are preventing surge. Yeah.
Yep.
Or hidden, right?
Everything.
Because it doesn't even say non-peril.
Nope.
Although I think
Naturally...
hidden cards, they all have the same title. They usually have different subtitles, but they have the same title.
Yeah, I
When you
don't know
cancel
if
them?
it would work on hidden
I don't know
cards
if it's
unless it was
actually-
your hidden card. But yeah, I'm not positive.
Oh, that's true, because they're not even revealing it for you to know
Yeah.
that it matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Similarly, I don't think peril can be canceled by other people.
You can cancel your own perils, but not other people's.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But still, like any encounter card, so it can be an enemy that she had tucked two turns ago, and it could be like a 5 hit point enemy, or like conglomeration of spheres, a 6 hit point enemy. It's not elite, like crazy stuff. She has 3 copies of that, so unbelievable.
Yeah, and you said it was 0 cost?
0 cost.
So she doesn't even have to have resources set aside kind of for when those stars align.
No.
Just
She just is psychically sensitive to know that the school's about to jump on you, and she just shoves you to the left, and it just jumps out the window next to you. It's pretty wild. Yeah, I honestly couldn't. I wish I had thought ahead and looked at her signatures from the olden days, but
to compare to the novella.
yeah.
I remember when the novella came out, the copy of her included in it still said at the back, like either she had been designed or at least they had decided enough of her design at that time that it said that her real signature cards would be 3 copies of each. And so I remember at the time being excited, being like, wow, when Gloria comes out for real, it's going to be a very different version of Gloria because she has
Definitely.
6 signature cards. It's going to steer the way the game works. And it does. Maybe not as dramatically as I would have liked.
But yeah, so these are player-backed cards.
Mm-hmm.
The next are not so much player-backed cards; they are encounter-backed cards.
Right.
Which I don't know
Fun.
if has any investigator done that before.
I don't think as their
don't think so.
weakness. There's
No.
like the stars are right. Like puts a
Encounter-backed, but it's a player card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her weakness. I assume there's some rules.
I think
here
it says like
that
set up
shuffle.
in,
Shuffle them into the encounter deck. So you shuffle these Prophecy of the End, which is the foretelling that we read about in her backstory. And it's interesting. It's a weakness, treachery, Prophecy of the End, omen, end times traded, which I think there is end times traded weaknesses in.
Yeah, the one that
those.
puts a bunch of curses in the bag is end times.
Yeah, and I think the one that over the course of like 3 seeings of it is end times traded because I think it kills you
Oh,
outright.
doomed.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
I can't remember. Anyway, this card reads Surge. Forced. If Gloria Goldberg used her reaction ability and this treachery is amongst the looked at cards, it must be chosen and placed face down beneath Gloria. If you cannot, discard a non-weakness card from under her, so free up space and then tuck it. Then, if there are 3 copies of this treachery beneath her, she is defeated and suffers mental trauma. So, like, not the best weakness ever.
No, it doesn't sound.
Yeah, getting,
Right.
just, pulled out of the game, not great. So, there was this caveat of Gloria being, this really, really powerful investigator because looking in the future is so powerful. However, once you get one or even two of these tucked under you, you almost have to stop using your ability and just wait for the next one to be drawn by anyone and then either cancel it or just you can let it fly by.
Yeah, it's like I was complimenting in the last video. I was saying one of the things I love about Marion is that you don't have to. I love investigators that you don't have to read 5 times to like grok them, and I think you do have to read Gloria and her cards like 5 times to kind of realize that really what this is a tax on the effectiveness of everything else she's doing.
Yeah,
is that it means that some of the time when she's searching, she doesn't do it as effectively because she like effectively sees one less card, and then once there's one, and especially once there's 2 beneath her, you really need to stop searching the deck. Wait for it to come up organically, and then also hold on to one of her signature cards to cancel it.
Exactly.
And once you've canceled one, you're kind of good. Once it's in the discard pile, you at least kind of know that you're not going to see them all that.
Yeah,
search,
so doesn't Psychic Sensitivity, in a sense, cancel 2 of these? Because, like, you discard one from beneath you, and...
It puts 2 in the discard pile, yeah. It doesn't cancel the first one. The first one went off, right?
But it also cancels the surge on it.
It does.
So, like, it seems like actually pretty mild if, like, you have 3 different cards that you have to just find one of those 3 cards before you find the third of this.
Yeah.
I think that I think that the actual threat to her, unless you grossly mismanage her, I think that the threat of her being defeated is nearly non-existent. It's just a tax on her effectiveness.
Yeah.
In a way that I kind of am not a big fan of, like the flow of the gameplay, and I feel like it's going to be very samey. You're dealing with that particular challenge game after game after game in the campaign. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, at least I don't remember her signatures being the same kind of feel. I remember her, signature asset not feeling, or events, I can't remember what it was, not being super powerful, but like fine, and her weakness being bad, but not damning, or like not having to totally change the way she plays, which I maybe appreciated more. Because I agree, I think this same threat will be handled the same way game after game, and it'll get kind of tiring.
Yeah, and it's like I like and dislike this about her, because I think that she is samey. She has just a really strict, rigid kind of gameplay loop that will be the same from game to game. But also I think that the feel of the game gets warped dramatically compared to a campaign without Gloria in it. And that includes for everyone at the table.
Yeah.
And so that's cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, but I also think that, like, it is such a powerful ability that when you're using it, it's so powerful that it makes the game feel easy.
Yeah.
And then when you can't use it, you're like, well, now I'm just kind of sitting here doing my normal investigating at
normal mystic.
Yeah, 5 willpower and 4 intellect, which is still, like, her... Not only can she, like, stop the normal game state from being very, very tediously challenging, she can also progress during her turns, because these, the ways that she looks at the encounter deck maybe can cost an action, but sometimes are even free actions in her deck, so, like, there's just a lot that she can do.
Yeah, and I was so excited about the premise of a character whose weaknesses are going to the encounter deck, because it affects everyone, and it's just a fun new twist, and then I'm not sure that it like pays off in a actual fun way.
Yep.
Yeah,
totally.
So I hope that more future investigators do it, or have their signature cards, have a good thing shuffle into the encounter deck, and that's right, like that's a design space too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
So I kind of mainly because I feel like, if she was great, I would hope that she remained unique. And she was like, okay, I want this to be her special thing, but because I don't love the way it was executed, now I'm kind of like, bring on 1 or 2 more who are trying this out in a different way. Because I think it's a cool idea that in my and having not played her, but having read her, I don't feel like it was executed.
I honestly love the idea of having a investigator having their signature weakness or signature like boon be in the encounter deck and being just like a glimmer of hope, even though that's already a game card in this game, but like a moment of respite where also a card anyway, but something that comes out of the encounter deck and helps you out in the moment you need it.
I actually do think that the Stars Are Alright, which is the one that has been printed so far, is probably going to see a lot more play because it combos very well with Agatha. It's an insight that I think is like max twice per game, so like you maybe don't want 2 copies because Agatha gets to reuse them, but she'll probably put in 1 copy, use it once from hand, and then use it a second time from the discard potentially.
Yeah.
And that's a fun one. It's like when you
Wait,
draw.
what does that do again? Is that the
when
one
you-
that shuffles into the encounter deck?
Yeah, so when
Okay,
you draw
yeah.
it from the encounter deck,
Top
it's
10.
like you get like a bunch of good stuff, like one card, one
Yeah.
resource,
And it's like instead of drawing a
and
card
it's-
card. It doesn't
you don't
search,
get a
right?
bad
Yeah.
thing, so.
Yeah, I've always loved that card. I don't necessarily think it's a great card, but I've loved that because I like that play style of like I'm planting seeds that may or may not sprout later.
Yeah.
It's part of why I like Bless Curse too. Is like I'm doing things that didn't do anything, unless it's a play style I like, and so yeah, I've always liked the Stars Are Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing more like that in the game even.
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump into some Mystic cards.
Yeah.
I've selected 5 great cards, at least fun cards.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right, we're going to start off with our level 0 pick, Katarina Sojaka.
Soika? I would
Soika?
guess.
Soika?
I would guess like
She's an emissary from Ulthar.
Oh.
It's actually the cat, not the woman.
Wait, really?
I mean, that's my take.
The-
I think it's like the woman is just like hanging out in the background. It's actually supposed to be focused on this cat.
I'll play along and choose to believe that. I think that if that was the actual intent, then it would be creature traded, which would be great. But
it is.
It is Dreamer traded.
I would assume at the very least she's cat to her friends.
Yeah. To her friends. I mean, yeah, it is cat. Oh man,
I didn't even catch that.
I
That's
didn't
good.
even catch that either.
That's
good. Job. All right. Anyway,
It's cat and her cat.
yeah, it's cat and cat. So she's an ally asset, 2 cost, with a willpower icon. 1 health, 2 sanity. Reaction. When you reveal a chaos token during a skill test you are performing, exhaust cat. Reveal tokens from the chaos bag until a token with a symbol is revealed. Resolve that token. Ignore the rest. So there's a couple different mechanics in this box that does care about like how many tokens you've looked at. That could be great here. I just think this is another great way to work with the mystic symbol BS. That's like either looking for the bad thing symbols if you're like a classic gym or something like that, or in the more likely situations, you're looking for those blesses or those curses.
Yeah, I think this goes
And-
great with the curse, the assets that trigger
Off
that,
of
that are
curse.
either have increased effects or refund their charges. Right, if you pull a curse,
Yeah.
I think she goes great with that.
The
It's not a
curse
guarantee, but
No,
it
definitely.
greatly increases the chances.
Yeah, and then I just think if you're playing a big, blurst campaign, people are gonna really like this to be able to find those tokens when you need it.
Yep, agreed. And it even increase if you can guarantee, well, not guarantee, but increase the chances that you hit a bless or curse in the first place, and then obviously you keep drawing. It even wow, why am I blanking on the name of their permanent card that wants Paradoxical Covenant? Yeah, it even it decently increases the chances of Paradoxical Covenant if you can increase the chances of drawing the first of the 2 tokens you need.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
Yes, because you could wait till you get 1 bless or curse and then trigger her.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Although
I mean-
if you're playing, you might just hit another bless, or another of the same thing. But
Yeah. It's like
'cause-
maybe better for like the straight curse play style rather than
it
the
probably
combo play style.
is. Yeah.
So I mean, like the way that I think this would be very interesting is if you're running a charisma and olive deck where you search for one of those cursed blesses and then you olive into the second one and then paradoxical. 3 cards
Beautiful.
for 1 auto success.
Well, but 2 allies that are recurring.
Yeah,
like, so,
that's true,
Or
that's
3
true.
3 cards, yes, but not for 1
yeah,
auto
but
success. Potentially
for
for many auto success.
1 auto success per round.
There we go. That's
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You can play on expert with that. Draw that. Who cares about the -8s if you just auto succeed?
Exactly. All right. Next card we have is I've picked so many. Mystic cards in general are hard to pronounce, but we're gonna go into the Eye of Nat Onahola Hoa.
I think that's an
hang on.
H is the second letter, not an
Yeah, it's not an N. Gatanathoa, I think is how I've said. Gatanathoa.
Tanathoa.
That is a. I think we've only played Elder Sign once on the channel, but that is the big bad we went against an Elder Sign. That's where I
I've
recognize
never
that from.
never
Yeah.
even heard that word or that name in this case. It is an artifact of the Dark God. Makes sense. Is Nat Boy the Dark God?
Aren't they all?
Oh, yeah. Probably. So it's a 2-cost asset, 2 experience, willpower, and wild pips, and it is exceptional. So it's 4 experience to buy, and that means there's only 1 copy you can buy. It is item, relic, cursed traded, takes up the accessory slot, and has 3 health. And it does stuff too.
Whoa.
It gets you +1 willpower.
All right.
Yay!
Basically, Holy Rosary.
So it's a mystic accessory.
Yeah. But also, it has this crazy text that says, play with the top card of the encounter deck revealed. Which is just unbelievable. And the universe has a favor to ask is the wonderful flavor text here.
Just that, with nothing else that Gloria does, that combined with her passive where she can choose the order is crazy.
Crazy.
Like, it's not quite first watch because it's not that in a 4-player game, this alone doesn't let her look at 4 and distribute them, but still to one by one decide, like, okay, it's an enemy guardian draws it. Oh, now it's a agility, treachery, rogue draws it. It's still...
It's
real
unreal.
good.
It's
Real
really,
good.
really unreal. Some might argue, even outside of Gloria, this is maybe gives a solo mystic a Gloria ability on top of whatever else they have.
In true solo, just seeing what the next encounter card will be is
crazy.
Absurd.
Isn't
You're right.
there a mystic card that's like, name the encounter card you're about to draw? If you name
There
it correctly,
is.
cancel
it. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
It was
I don't think
meant-
I've ever played it. I've forgotten that
It was meant as like a Norman card.
It was a Norman card because he played with the top card of the deck revealed, but it also coupled very well with Gloria because she would set up the deck how she wanted it, and then she'd just be like, "Yep, this card is."
Now you just play with the eye,
and now you just play with the eye, and you just know again. Is it fun?
Yeah,
Probably not. But it's wildly powerful.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a playstyle that I have like no interest in, but it's cool.
It is one that I did a whole campaign with Gloria, and boy, did we just smoke that campaign. Like, it was just like not even a contest. Oh man. Okay, some more crazy manipulating mystic stuff because it's her box and we're just playing in it. Deliverance is a 3 experience, 0 cost event with just another single willpower period. I've been finding these cards that are just like, it's like, here's 5 experience, but you get 1 willpower.
That's so funny.
Deliverance is spirit traded, so Nate can take it?
Calvin definitely can.
Oh, Calvin can. Yeah.
Can you go up to
Level
3?
He can do 3, yeah.
All right, well, what happens when Calvin delivers this?
All right, so when Calvin plays Deliverance, it's a fast play when the draw and counter card step of the Mythos phase would begin. You draw each encounter card that would normally be drawn this Mythos phase. Cards drawn during this Mythos phase cannot be canceled, and the first card drawn gains Surge.
So, and you're drawing N+1 cards.
N+1, yep, all yourself. And then the good side of this card is skip the next encounter draws for the next round.
Yeah, so your team, and I think this is you would not play
max
this solo.
twice per game.
There's you could make an argument for it being interesting to draw 2 cards now, then skip 1 solo. But I think you play this in 3 or 4 players, and you are giving 3 or 4 players 2 turns off from the Mythos deck, right?
It is another one of those wildly powerful cards, I would say, that just changes the normal game state, the normal flow that we have, and honestly, I know we were just joking about Calvin, but like, this is such a Calvin card.
Play it like turn 2, like
turn 1, literally.
Turn 1, like no, maybe
just kill me,
maybe
kill me now.
Maybe get your ally and a weapon in play before you accidentally draw 3 enemies.
No, because then just the first action of the next turn, you play your weapon, you take 3 attacks of opportunity, and now you're super. But really, like, Calvin loves this card. It's not even that much of a Gloria card, I don't think, because I feel like Gloria doesn't necessarily want to take all the heat.
Yeah.
But I think it's
she's
just
pretty squishy.
It's just a great for 3 experience. I know it can only be played max twice, but man, yeah, giving your at least. You could probably pull it off in 2-player, but yeah, 3 or 4-player, this thing would shine and sing like you wouldn't believe.
And the one interaction to emphasize is that like deny existence is not canceling the card; it's canceling all the bad stuff that the card does.
Can deny.
So it's like you can still deny whatever the worst thing you draw is.
Just put your fingers in your ears. It's not happening. It's not happening. I love this card. I think that, I mean, I was just hating on canceling and stuff. This is not canceling. This is making this huge, cool moment and this like dramatic self-sacrifice, depending on how well it goes, to then give everyone else 2 turns off. I think this is super cool. I love this
super
card.
cool.
Yeah,
and just so you can internalize it for a second. Imagine you are in a 4-player game and you play this card and you're like, all right, 5 encounter draws coming my way. Like, that is a crazy moment.
And even if you die on like the 3rd one, it still cancels the next, right?
It's true. I mean, this is a huge body move. If you're like, if there's 2 rounds left in the game, right? You have 2 more doom before we doom out, and you're locked in the basement of the asylum, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna deliver us the victory by playing Deliverance.
Is that what happens if you die to say the second of 5 cards? The other 3 get drawn by no one.
You draw each encounter card that would normally be drawn this Mythos phase.
I feel like you go around turn order and say, okay, I'm drawing Steven's card. Now I'm drawing Kyle's card. And if you die along the way, it reverts back to them. I think that's how I would interpret that.
I don't think so.
Especially because it's not just draw N+1 cards. Actually, it's the first one gains Surge. Right? So it's clear whose card you're drawing at all times. In a way that I don't actually think that if you just kill yourself with this, you have spared everyone else. So, I do think the rest of the card would probably go off and prevent the next Mythos phase.
Yeah.
I don't think, because I think if you're saying that the you draw part is canceled when you die, then I would think the other part would be canceled. I think either the entire card is canceled or none of it's canceled.
No, I'd agree with that ruling.
Maybe. I just think that for you to draw, you have to be like a going concern in a way that you wouldn't be, and you like the effect saying skip the next Mythos phase doesn't like need you alive for it to work.
I'm pretty sure it's all or nothing, and I think it might still skip it.
Yeah, because it's like
this one and next one.
In Marvel Champions, you don't take turns drawing, you deal a card to everyone and then you all draw them. So in that game, this would say deal everyone's card to yourself, and it would be clear because then they would get discarded if you were eliminated. In this case, though, I think you're going in turn order, drawing each person's card for them, and I think if you stop, it reverts back. That's I don't know. Let
us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I
mean, it's similar to like what's it called? The 1 experience card.
First watch or no?
No. The gaining 1 experience. Delve Too Deep.
Oh yeah.
Where like if you don't actually finish the myth, like if you get knocked out by the card you draw, the card doesn't go into the victory display because there's it would knock you out before that the text would resolve. Because then add this to the victory display.
I think this is cooler if it doesn't work the way you hope it does, though, because then you have to withstand them all, and you're like holding on for dear life to the 2 overtime contingency switches. Like I'm only gonna get through this.
4 more minutes, God. Especially when Milkshake, comes through that door.
Oh man! All right. You got something equally good for us next?
I do. I have something very captivating. Some might even say enrapturing. So enraptured. It's a level 2 skill this time around. Leveled up from 0. I believe the level 0 one was essentially can be committed to any intellect test.
Yeah, that's right. I always want to say will because it's purple, but
it's just an intellect icon, and it would give you a charge or a secret on an asset you control. This one at level 2 is a intellect icon and a wild icon.
Ooh.
Practice expert traded. Max 1 committed per skill test. If the skill test is successful during an investigation, so it still needs to be during kind of a book-ish test.
That's odd.
But it could be a spell.
Could be an investigation with a different skill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now you can be a will investigation using some trickery. And if it's successful during an investigation, place up to 3 charges and/or secrets on assets controlled by investigators at your location.
That's pretty good. Wow. For the cost of 0 resources, because it's a skill, to do a 3 charge or secret reload, even divided up as you see fit. And honestly, even if you just put this on a scroll of secrets, it's very powerful.
In Gloria, especially.
Oh, right, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, even if it's just in Gloria solo, with, her scroll of secrets that's looking at the encounter deck and
I
mitigating.
forgot that it could look at the encounter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So rare that's actually the better play with it.
That is definitely the play with Gloria. And she could just take this on a regular investigate and bump herself up to a 6. And then if she passes, she recharges that thing 3.
Damn.
Or like the tactics book from Guardian that we talked about in our last video. That was like
Book of War.
Book of War. It's 4 cost,
Yeah.
and it's really, it's expensive. It only comes with 3. You just throw this into a test at that same location, and you can even allocate how you feel. Like, it's not just like you need to put 3 charges on this spell. It could be like 1 charge on this spell, 2 secrets on this item. Like, crazy flexible.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. And it's just having that on a skill. I mean, I guess the skill had to be, the test had to be successful.
Has to be successful.
So I guess compared to an event that just were to do it, be a reload style event, so like there's that risk.
Sure.
But then to have it be actionless and costless because it's a skill card, and it boosts your skill.
Boost your skill.
Yeah, seems really good.
And flexible to who it goes to, and
And level 2 feels like the right price.
Honestly, it could be level 3.
I know.
Maybe-
I still would
maybe so.
take it at
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I think that so many of the level up cards feel like they're a little overcosted on experience to me, and it's like maybe it's just inflation because the experience from campaigns has increased, so maybe cards are getting costed higher.
I remember when a card like this cost 1 XP.
But I don't think that this one is overcosted, which I like. Yeah.
I was expecting when I was reading the card for it to go from 1 charge to 2 charge last secrets, and then to see it 3 and being split upon investigators because it used to only be yourself too.
Yep.
Like,
It's good.
Really wild.
It's good.
All right, I've saved the best for last.
I'm excited.
Book of Thoth?
Transfiguration.
Oh God.
Here we go. So I think we alluded to in previous videos about, we're now getting a tighter amount of card pool because there are cards like this being designed that allows you to search your collection for certain cards. So let me talk about Transfiguration for a second. It's a 0 cost event, 2 experience, 1 will, 1 int, and 1 wild icon. Ritual traded. Choose another investigator card from your collection. Until the end of the game, treat the front of your investigator card as if it were the front of the chosen card instead, including skill values, traits, abilities, elder sign effects, yada yada, is a question mark that I have. Max once per game. The question mark is it also your health and sanity?
Yeah, it's weird for that to be omitted from the parenthetical. But I assume that if you have 6 damage on you and you can transfigure into a 5 health investigator, you're defeated.
Yeah.
But for some reason, health and sanity are left out of the reminder text.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So there's a lot of different... I was thinking about this card a lot. There's a lot of different investigators who can take it, obviously, because it's like side class mystic up to level 2. And I think... instead of trying to come up with this brilliant plan of like, okay, I'm going to be Safina, and I'm going to start with a 13 card hand, and then transfigure into someone else. And Transfiguration is one of those 13 cards that I've tucked under me and can do, maybe play a few turns as Safina, Painted World, yada yada, and then turn into someone else.
You become Gloria just with a 13 card opening hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like those kind of plays, like they totally exist out there. But I think some of the really fun, or like turning yourself into Calvin when you're down and out and you're like just need a huge boost to your skill. Interesting different combos that are out there, but I think the flexibility to just be anyone at a moment's notice is really, really powerful. Like if like your fighter gets knocked out and all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, I'm like a cluing mystic. I'm gonna turn myself into Agnes. Like parallel Agnes, I don't know.
So a fun one would be start as one of the Agnes. Let's say you start as Corset Agnes. If you take a bunch of horror, her ability's not so good anymore. So you switch to Parallel Agnes and take a bunch of damage. So that way you get to use the full value of both of your skills.
Are parallel cards in your collection?
I think so.
I guess.
Until they tell me where my collection ends and starts everything in my collection.
Yeah, like I'll rain on your parade a little bit on that. I do think that is a fun thought. But if you're playing it with 2 other players and you're like, hang on guys, I need to go through these 60 investigators and figure out what's best for the situation, I think that is not going to be a fun gameplay experience for your friends.
I agree, but I don't think I think you have like 3 or 4 investigators in mind, right? You come in with like, all right, if we need more support in this area, I turn into this person, or more support in this area, I turn into this person. Because you can even you can leave the Mystic Realm behind and kiss it goodbye and just be like, I'm just going to turn myself into Tony and just like punch everything to death with my 4 actions.
You could use Tony's bounties, but use them to play a free like shriveling, right? Like you don't even have to start punching.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony's will, I think, is like 2. So
maybe
not.
Well, wait. If you turn into Tony, you don't just get his bounty permanent card. I think Tony's a pretty terrible choice.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
I forget how he gets the tip.
Yeah, depending on how much investigators like are really dependent on their own signature cards.
True. And if they have like permanent things.
But this is what this does do is it lets you use the signature cards of the deck you started with those, which can be pretty funky.
The one that I was thinking about that unfortunately you just can't get this without some really crazy tricks. You can't get this into Preston's hand, but if you could, guys, it would be a different, because like his family trust still generates 4 resources that you can use.
Isn't it? Which class got the card in this box that is like search your collection for a card and add it to your hand? Is that Rogue?
No, it's in the next video.
Oh, it's a specialist card or a neutral or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy too. But yeah, this like could turn Lola into a good investigator.
Yeah, but Lola's now better because you can stop being Lola.
Incredible.
You can build a Lola deck and then leave the negative card behind.
I like the idea of a Mystic that then becomes Nathaniel, and now all your attack spells do +1.
Whoa!
So like 4 damage Spectre Razors, and Spectre Razor adds fight. So like the fact that he has low will.
Okay, I'm
not
on
as
board.
bad.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Explosive Ward is now arcane slots +1 damage.
Okay, so still bad. Got it.
A little better.
Yeah, very silly one. I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
I'm sad you didn't pick. Now I can't remember the details of it. But the card that has the chance of turning you into a homunculus.
It was literally, if you looked at I took pictures of the 6 or 5 cards that I wanted to bring, and in this one I had 6, and the homunculus was the 6th one, and I was like, I should bring it and talk about it because Transfiguration gets around the homunculus.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you have this, there's, I should have just brought it, but there's a card that can turn you into a homunculus. It's not a good place to be. If you get defeated while being a homunculus, you're dead forever.
It's really just a cute, funny way of saying, like, your character is killed.
Yeah.
Right? Because maybe you play one scenario as a lark, as a homunculus, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to create a new character.
Yeah.
But
with
I still love it. I still love it.
You can just keep it going.
That's very funny.
Get the hell out of there every single scenario.
Can you transfigure back to your old character, or is that character, like, dead and, like, removed from your collection?
If you play a second copy of this, like, can you? or even as a homunculus.
Yeah,
can you become the thing you originally were?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
If it says your character...
I feel like no, because the way that the campaign log writes it shows that character being killed. So I don't think that person exists in your collection for that campaign.
Okay. Yeah,
but, just roll up the parallel.
But I mean, if you're transfiguring, it's not like you are really that person, right? You are just becoming kind of like a copy of that person. So I don't even know that person being dead should prevent it.
You're right.
Flavor-wise.
Because, and even written-wise, because it doesn't say, like, you become that character. It's like, literally you just, until the end of the game, treat the front of your investigator as if, which we all love the as if Tony, or not Tony, Luke. All the as if Luke questions, and I think as if is basically like it can exist outside the realms of the world, and then you just go back to normal after the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you turn into a homunculus because you got greedy and wanted more experience, just transfigure yourself into something better. Pro tip.
Wow. All right. Well, you heard it here first. All of your homunculus woes solved here on Optimal Play. All right, we have just one left to go before you compete, Steven. So
Saving the best for last.
we'll wrap this video and be back soon with the with Agatha and the neutral and the special. The rest of the box, all the drinks.
All the dregs.
We'll be here to talk about them, but only if you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then we will see you there for our final Drowned City conversation. All right. Till then, be optimal.